Hi there, my name is Aaron, and welcome to the Call Cinema. And today we're looking at my Code Red Blu-ray releases collection and talking a bit about each one and talking about Code Red in general. I'm gonna try and do these in numerical order because one of the cool things is Code Red actually do number theirs well most of the time, but we'll get into that in a second. But right now, let's start. Code Red as a company began in 2006. Its first release would be Don't Go in the Woods Alone. And its owner, Banana Man himself, Bill Olson. Bill had the tendency to be a bit controversial with some of his takes online, but his passion for cinema was never something that was in doubt. And it could sometimes be harder to get Code Red releases. His store, the Big Cartel, would kind of open and close at random times. Now, my very first Code Red release is not going to be like shown here today because we're doing my Code Red Blu-ray collection, and that, my friends, will be part of my Code Red DVD collection, which will come in the future. But I thought we'd look at all these today and just discuss why I got the ones I got, why Code Red was such an important company, why Bill Olson is going to be so very missed, and how I think, in a way, it's really irreplaceable. So to start out, I do have a bit of a confession to make. The very first Code Red release was the electric chair. I got this one much later, and here's the thing. It's probably the only, actually it really is the only one in the Code Red collection I have yet to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I really want to do that soon because I don't think I've actually seen this. And for me, as a guy that grew up with like in the VHS era and I was renting stuff all the time, I didn't have that big of a life as a child. I rented a lot of movies, guys. Um, the fact that I probably didn't see this one even in the VHS era really intrigues me. Now, see, one of the things that Cobra did was he had Maria's B movie mayhem right out of the gate, to be honest with you, right from the first Blu-ray release. So that's Maria Canales. Now, Maria Canales was still is a famous female wrestler. So has a great mind, actually. This one here, I can't tell you about because I actually haven't seen it yet. Now, the next one that I would get was number 13. And number 13 is a special one to me because it's a favorite film of mine. Of David Hess's work, House on the Edge of the Park is probably one of my all-time favorites. I had the old Media Blasters release of this one. I made sure that I grabbed this because it's House on the Edge of the Park. It's an HD master. They did a bunch of color correction on this one here. There's interviews with David Hess. It's a really good interview too. John Morgan, Caroline Murdoch, on-camera interview with Ruggero Deodato, the director of the film. Steel Gallery, original trailer, and this one is, by the way, number 13. If you've never seen House on the Edge of the Park, I'm not going to lie, it's not for everybody because it is a bit of a revenge film that does have some SA included. So I guess trigger warning there, but it's a really good, really well constructed film and extremely well done. Cast overall is absolutely fantastic. And this, my friends, is a great release. I know this is a 4K out there, and I have yet to upgrade, but I'll never get the Blu-ray edition from Code Red out of my collection. Code Red was putting out things that other people either hadn't thought about, forgotten about, or just really, I guess, didn't get or didn't understand. And they're putting them out at a time before the boutique label was really kind of catching fire. Um, Hell, Code Red was one of those companies that had a bit of like a hard time. I mean, there's several times that Code Red, it seemed like they were going to be closing the doors. I remember back in 2010, they were going to be, was going to be no more. But because of his passion for it, he was able to keep everything going. Sweet 16 is the slasher film with Dana Kimmel that's not Friday the 13th Part 3. I love Friday the 13th Part 3, but I actually love this film too. This gets more hate than it really, really should. The twist and the ending reveal for the killer I thought was really, really good. So if you haven't seen it, it's a fun release. And aside from Dana Kimmel, we got Bo Hopkins in here as well. Um, Patrick McNee is in this film, and I really do enjoy this one. This is number 16, Sweet 16 of the Code Red releases. Definite recommendation. Do you like westerns? Do you like gore? Do you like westerns and gore? Well, I do. That's why number 27 is a really important one for me. It's Cutthroat's 9. Now, this is a movie that I found out about through my dad. I always shout out when somebody else basically let me know about a film that I didn't know. My dad would talk about Cutthroat's 9 a bit. And just what an intense, insane movie it was. And he didn't lie, man. This is a really good film. I was so excited when it was announced that Cutthroat's 9 was coming out. Because I did not expect it. I did not expect them to put this out. I didn't know who was going to put this out. But it just made perfect sense that Code Red would be the people to release Cutthroat's 9. With another Maria Canales release, we have, actually, no, not Maria Canales this time. Because when they moved on from Maria Canales, who was in the original one, they went with another wrestler. And they used Katrina or Winter if you watched her in TNA. So this is The Devastator, and for those that watch my channel a lot, yeah, it's directed by Sirius Santiago, and for those that know me know that I absolutely adore these kind of Sirius Santiago action films. They're just fun, really, really fun. You can just turn them on at any time and just watch them and have a bit of a blast, and you definitely will with this. Kate Shea is in it. Richard Hill, a great cast. Terrence O'Hara, fantastic cast list right here, and that one is number 35 in the Code Red collection. You're going to see a bit of a theme here for a bit, because we're going to the Roger Corman Post Nuke collection, and we got David Carradine in Dune Warriors, again by Sirius Santiago, because of course it is. I love his films, and I just love the unabashed exploitation action that he puts into all these. And this is just so much fun. And some great special features. There's even a fact trivia track on there. Number 42 was Wheels of Fire. Again, another great release. Look at these covers too, by the way. Look at these amazing covers, the artwork on these things. Again, with a bunch of features on here. This one is done by, Sirius Santiago. Of course it is. Of course it's Sirius Santiago. Look at this, man. And we'll follow it up with The Sisterhood. And The Sisterhood is another film with a bunch of very attractive ladies. Post-apocalypticness. We got Lynn Holly Johnson in this one here. Rebecca Holden from Knight Rider. Chuck Wagner's in this from Automan. And yes, my friends, we got us some more Sirius Santiago goodness. I love myself some of these post-apocalyptic kind of just really fun action-y films. I find you can just put them on at any time. Now we're going to go slightly different. By the way, the last one was Wheels of Fire is 42, and The Sisterhood was 43. This is number 44, and it is Equalizer 2000, because it's Richard Norton. He's got a gigantic gun in this. There you go. And it's, of course, by Mr. Sirius Santiago. But not every release would be a Sirius Santiago release in my collection. Next up, though, would be Silk, which is a Sirius Santiago release. Ha! Gotcha right there, didn't I? Gotcha. And it's a really, really good one. A definite recommendation. But in all seriousness, let's get to some non-Sirius Santiago stuff. Let's get to some creepy stuff, some horror. Let's get to a movie that's poster is amazing. The Forest has incredible artwork, and it's a good thing it does, because this, my friends, is not a good movie. It is not even like I'm going to pretend that it's a competent film. However, it is just really, really fascinating to watch. The oddness and the strangeness of this film truly kept me watching. And there's some like decent people. Gary Kent's in this, right? We got Don Jones, Stafford Morgan. But yeah, this was a choice by somebody. Somebody made the choice to make the movie and to make it this way, and bless them for it, right? All right, the next one is from a director that I truly enjoy. And no, no, don't worry. It's not another Serious Santiago release. It's one where I really can't share the back of it. But it is number. Oh, by the way, before I go any farther, The Forest was number 59 in the Code Red collection. So what would they put out for number 69? Well, Bill Wilson understood the significance of that number and released Jose Larraz's Black Candles. Now, Jose Larraz is a lauded filmmaker. He did some incredibly fantastic work. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend that you. Stuff like Coming of Sin, Vampires with a Y, and so many others. But Black Candles is different. It's unique. Basically, he knew he didn't have a lot script wise going into this. He knew that there wasn't a ton to like when it came to like. We'll be honest with acting talent. So what do you do when you don't have that? When got to go in a different direction? Well, you put it with exploitation and nudity and just insanity. Yeah, there's the satanic goat. There's a reason for it. That's your one warning. That's your one warning. Number 92, as we skip way ahead, is Hide and Go Shriek, a slasher film that pretty much got lost. Nobody really talked about this one for the longest time. I remember watching it on VHS back in the day and really enjoying the film. It's a fun film, and there's kind of aspects of it that remind me a bit of films like Chopping Mall and Intruder. If you watch this, you'll understand exactly what I mean. But definitely an interesting release. Next up is, well, it's The Hills Have Eyes. No, not that one. Mind Ripper, The Hills Have Eyes 3. It's kind of The Hills Have Eyes. You got Lance Henriksen and Giovanni Ribisi, so you gotta at least want to check that out, right? Not a bad title, actually. Yeah, I forgot she was in this. Natasha Gregson Wagner, Natalie Wood's daughter, who plays the doomed girl at the beginning of Urban Legend, who should be looking in the backseat of her car but doesn't, uh, is in this film. All right. Now we got one of you slipcover people are going to like, because here we go. It's number 95 in the Code Red collection, and it is Beyond the Door. So if you have not seen Beyond the Door, it's kind of what you think. It's Juliet Mills, and look at that. It's a possession movie. It's a fun little possession movie. Let's see if we did anything different. Yes, it did. So the original artwork is right there. It's a really great little release. This was a brand new remaster done in 2016 when this came out. Came with like a couple audio commentaries, a whole bunch of features on here. I have a lot of fun with this. I really like Beyond. I like possession movies overall. Although it took me a while to warm to The Exorcist. Strange, isn't it? Okay, next up's a classic. Tom McLaughlin did this one, and it's a really, really, really good film. It is One Dark Night. So One Dark Night stars Meg Tilly, and we got like good old Adam West in there. Rest in peace. I got to meet him, and a very nice guy, by the way. Um, this is again loaded with features. It's a great release. I'm so glad that I've got this one. I'm so glad that I've got the Code Red release, and we'll talk about that a little more in a few minutes here. let's go through the rest of these here first. By the way, that was, again, number 128. And the one before it was 95. Number 150. What do you do for 150? You know, it's like, it's kind of a milestone. So we put out this kind of monster film here, The Being, with Martin Landau, Jose Ferrer, and Ruth Buzzy. A bit of an odd cast when you really think about it. Dorothy Malone is in this too, so we got some older actors in there. But a lot of fun. A lot of fun we have with this one here. Also, Murray Langston. So for those that know, Murray Langston was also in like movies like Night Patrol. Was famous for a short period of time as the Unknown Comic, which was like it was a stand-up comedian that wore a paper bag over his head. That was kind of his gimmick. Next up is The Witchmaker. And I got to say, I really, really adore the artwork on this one. This is one of my favorite slipcovers that they put out. And it's actually probably, yeah, for like a regular slipcover, this might be one of my favorite slipcovers. I just like the way this is done. And it's been a while since I watched this one. I actually want to watch this one again. The form is human, but they have crossed over. Is this sex after death? Well, who doesn't want to answer that question, right? We had Ruth Buzzy, by the way, 152. But in 162, we're 10 later, we go to Norman Fell and Phyllis Diller. If you had in The Boneyard. There's a ton of like features on this one as well, by the way. And features that are exclusive. Like sometimes he would port over features from other releases, but after the new scans, new remasters, new color corrections, stuff like that. But yeah, it actually has some features that are exclusive to that. And I love when they have like when Bill does like the interviews in Banana Man outfit and stuff like that. It's really fun. Now the next two are my last two Code Red releases on that I have on Blu-ray, and neither one of these had a number on them. So first up, there's Cut and Run, which we're going back to Rogerio Deodato, who we saw way back when we looked at number 13, I think. Yep, number 13, House on the Edge of the Park. So we're from 13 to unnumbered. We are back to Rogerio Deodato with more of like an action-y type of film. And with a great cast too. Willie Ames is in this, Richard Lynch. I like the cast right there. See, we've got Michael Berryman there, Karen Black. Richard Lynch is really good in this movie, by the way. And very, very excellent film. And last but definitely not least, one of my all-time favorite releases, put out by them. Just one that I truly loved. It's one of those movies that I was so excited to get. And I was the only thing I'm bummed about is I never got the slipcover. If anybody ever has a slipcover that they want to get rid of for this one, and feel free. I will gladly accept that. It is Just Before Dawn. I absolutely love this movie. We got George Kennedy, Greg Henry, one of my favorites. Jamie Rose, Chris Lemmon is in this. It is such a good movie. It has two cuts to film, the original cut and the extended international cut. And just two movies that two versions of the same movie that I absolutely adore. I love myself some slasher stuff. I love myself some kind of the backwoods stuff. There's just a lot to love about this one. If you've never seen it, I really, really, really strongly recommend it. It's a really great film. All right, here's where I normally talk about like the future releases from like a company or where I think it could be going. And unfortunately, on November the 7th of 2022 was announced that sadly Bill Olson, the owner of Code Red, had passed away. He left quite a legacy and helped to save and secure a lot of films in cinema that may not have been if he had not been around. He had such a love and a passion for these films and some of these really different, unique films. And I'm sure lots of these will eventually get taken up by other companies, and maybe somebody else will come up and like do Code Red. But much like Twilight Time, which we'll be talking about in the future, The original, the OG, is, it's it's basically it's un you can't rebuild that. You can't remake something. You can do like a version of it, but it's never going to be the same. And it can't be, because even though the name might be there, Code Red, the person and the heart behind it won't be there. Now, that's not to say that if anybody does Code Red in the future, that they won't have like heart and passion towards it, but they'll have to come in with their own sensibilities, mentality when it comes to that. And much like he did himself, and he definitely like courted some like controversy along the way. With that being said, the world of collecting of DVDs and Blu-rays is a better place because of Code Red and Bill Olson. And next time, we'll talk about his brother and the amazing company that he did. Because, see, Bill Olson's brother, he did Scorpion. And that's our next video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to, click that Patreon link down below. Join our Patreon. It really helps out the channel, keeps us going, and enables us to make more videos like this and make more videos in general. Hopefully, I'll see you soon. My name is Aaron. This has been The Call to Cinema. Have a wonderful day, and see you next time when we talk about Scorpion releasing.